Hey everyone, great to be back out here with you in Clear Creek Canyon Park, giving you an update on the construction progress we've made. I'm Jeff Hogue, construction manager for the Peaks of Plains Huntsman segment, and we're out here today just over a mile west of Tunnel 1, and we're on the south side of the creek, and what we're standing on is a section of trail that just recently got poured. It's one of the big milestones we're excited to share with you today. The concrete itself is 6 inches thick, and it has welded wire fabric down in the middle of the pour. It also has some fiber mesh reinforcement. What that fiber mesh does is gives it a little bit of extra strength and helps prevent some of the cracking. If you look closely, you can still see some of the kind of hairs that are sticking out on the surface here, and those will all get worn off with some foot traffic and some of the bike tires when they start rolling across. On the right side here, we're on the MSE wall that we've discussed before, and it's actually the fill side of the trail. And the MSE are those big Lego blocks that make up the height that we need to get to this elevation. And on the other side, on the cut condition, this is the soil nail wall we discussed in the last video. That you can see that the soil nail wall is all done, the veneer's in place. And in this gap here that's next to the trail, we're gonna backfill it with some topsoil and it'll be seeded. So you'll have this nice gentle slope leading up to the edge of the stone veneer to give you a nice shoulder. So let's go check out some of the concrete on the next milestone we wanted to talk with you and share about, which is on the bridge. So about 2 months ago, we set 3 bridges in what's gonna be this future trailhead on this section of trail. And just recently we poured the deck on this bridge. Like what we just looked at, it's 6 inches thick with fiber mesh in there. One other thing I wanted to add is that we've made a big change recently regarding the actual color of the concrete. We are now using an integral colored concrete as opposed to just a stain on the top of the surface that we've used traditionally throughout the canyon, downstream at Gateway and upstream at Big Easy and Mayhem. The colored concrete is actually mixed into the concrete when it's batched as opposed to being applied to the surface. And this gives us a couple benefits. One, it won't fade over time. We've noticed a number of years later that some of that stain will start to fade within the sunlight. And additionally, surprisingly, in this area, it was a little bit cheaper too than the stain applied on top of the concrete. So a couple benefits there for using the integral mix. So that's for the bridges. Let's go take a look at what's arguably the coolest part of the construction out here. That's the viaduct segment. So here we are on the first section of viaduct that had the concrete deck poured on top of it. Similar to what we just looked at with the bridge and trail, this is also an integral colored concrete with fiber mesh. Construction on this piece of viaduct started well over a year ago, and that began with drilling micropiles into the bedrock and building the substructure of the columns and caps on top of those, and then finally the post-tension beams to make that span, and then the deck poured on top. And this is the final surface on which you'll ride and walk and enjoy the trail. This section of viaduct is about 360 feet, and that accounts for about 10% of the total viaduct length throughout the Huntsman segment. There's just under 2/3 of a mile of viaduct total. So as you can see, there's still a lot of work that we need to do on the 3 miles of this Huntsman segment stretch. But check back often, check for updates, and until then, get outside and enjoy some beautiful fall weather, and take care. Thanks everyone.